Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Monica and today we're doing a good old-fashioned review roundup. If you haven't seen a review roundup before, it's essentially a video where I do a bunch of kind of mini reviews instead of focusing one video on one single review. So I have a basket here full of newer products I've been testing out. We've got some eyeshadows from Shop Miss A, we've got some e.l.f. products, some e.l.f. putty products, we've got some Natasha Denona palettes, and we've got some eyeshadow kits that I'm going to be trying to squish all of these reviews into a shorter video for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump right in. If you want to see previous review roundups, I do have a playlist. I'll throw that up in the cards if you're interested. And I think we're going to start with the Shop Miss A eyeshadows. Okay, so if you're familiar with Shop Miss A and their eyeshadows, they previously came out with a bunch of palettes like this. This is their Moonstone palette. They came out with a collection of just like bigger palettes like this. They had like a neutral one, they had a rainbow one, they had like a purpley blue one, and they came out with this one, the Moonstone, and then they came out with this one. This is called the Color My World. I have to say, I'm not really impressed with the pigmentation, the quality of these big palettes. They're kind of chalky, they're not really pigmented, they're not really my favorites. So when they came out with these new smaller palettes, I was very intrigued. First, they came out with these Paw Paw quads, and they are small, very neutral quads. There are 4 of them that came out. One is called Eden, that's this one right here. This quad is called Brandy, and this quad is called Vendela. And then this quad is called Zinnia. I'll go ahead and throw swatches in of all the quads right here. Now, right off the bat, I have to say the quality of the shadows in these quads is leagues better than their big eyeshadow palettes. They are creamier, they're actually pigmented. You have to build up some of the lighter shades a little bit to see them on the eye, but in general, they're blendable, they're not chalky or powdery, they're really, really nice. They do have some kick up, but it's kind of like the ABH formula where you do get a decent amount of kick up, but it is decently pigmented on the darker shades. I also really like these shimmers. I still use a glitter glue whenever I use any shimmer, and that's from Natasha Denona to ColourPop. I just use glitter glue, but they look really, really nice and they last really well all day. So overall, I was very impressed by these quads, though I have to say, being so neutral, these aren't something that I would probably be reaching for on a daily basis, but this is perfect for someone who's looking for something subtle or neutral to wear to school every day or to work every day. They're perfect. 1 or 2 of these, and I think you would be set. These being from their Paw Paw line, they're a little bit more than $1. I think they're around $1.55 each, because anything from their Paw Paw line, they do donate a portion of it to charity. In addition to these new Paw Paw quads that came out, they came out with some new trios. Now these trios are also from the AOA Studio line, but these are not from the Paw Paw collection. These are theoretically just their regular AOA Studio line, and they came out with 4 trios. So I don't see any names on the, oh, I lied. So this is the trio in Patience, a nice kind of all shimmer champagne to bronze palette. These 2 all matte quads are called Fearless and Mother Earth. And this purple shimmery trio is called Peace and Love. Now I have to say, I went into these trios not really expecting much, but I was very impressed. I do like the quality and the pigmentation of these more than the Pawpaw quads, but these have more colors. These are a little bit more fun to play with. I really like the shimmers. Like, honestly, these shimmers are fantastic. I was really surprised by these. But also the mattes, they were pigmented, they blended really, really nicely. I was pleasantly surprised, pleasantly shocked by the quality of these palettes. Now these being from the regular line, I believe these are $1 each, and they're just really great quality. So if you were gonna buy any eyeshadows from Shop Miss A, honestly, the best quality ones are these little trios. I'd recommend you pick one of these up, or maybe two, because they do have, they keep them all shimmer or all matte. They don't have a mixture of them yet. So honestly, I'd recommend getting like one of the shimmer palettes and one of the matte palettes. And like here, this would be your perfect like neutral go-tos. But then if you want a little bit more fun, a little bit more color, you've got these as well. I have to say, the purples, I actually use these with my Pan That palette. I'm panning the Lila palette from Natasha Denona. These are really, really pretty with those. Also, I don't know if I already threw it in. If I did, ignore me. But if I didn't already, I'm going to go ahead and throw in swatches of the quads as well. So overall, I'm really happy that Shop Miss A finally got a decent eyeshadow formula, because I was really disappointed when I first found so many great products from Shop Miss A. They did not have a decent eyeshadow palette, which is the only downside. But now they do. They have all of these trios, and then they have all of these great little quads to pick from. Let's keep on with the Shop Miss A products. I have a few more products to review. So next, let's talk about the Go Brow. The Go Brow from Shop Miss A was one of their, I think, original products that they came out with. And then I forgot if I purchased it or if it was in one of the very first PR packages I got from them. But the Go Brow that I got was a white, gunky mess. It was completely dried out. It was terrible, and the colored version, the color tinted brow, was not much better. So I finally tried and used up one of the newly reformulated Go Brows. It's a lot better, but it's not my favorite. It really only makes your brows like shiny. I didn't get a whole lot of hold out of it, but I need extra hold. I have very curly hair, and my eyebrow hairs, I don't know if you see, if they get long enough, they will literally curl. And so when I grow my hair out, I need to make sure like they actually stay in place. So this wasn't what I was looking for in a brow gel, but I have to say I'm glad that they at least updated it, because their original version of this was absolutely not even usable, horrendous. That being said, the new tinted brow gel that came out with, this is decent. I really only liked using this though when I was not wearing any other makeup. Like now I'm wearing a full face of makeup, I would like to fully do my brows, but if I'm literally not wearing anything and I just want to do a little bit of my brow and maybe some mascara, this is what I will use. It looks really natural, it looks really pretty, but I don't do that all too often. I like to do makeup, I have fun doing makeup, but it's nice to have that option, especially when it's only $1. I'd rather spend $1 on a product that I use every now and then than spend a lot more money on a product that I only use every now and then. So I will keep this in my collection, but odds are I'm not going to be using it that often. All right, so some dud products for me. First was the AOA Studio Hold My Brow. This is their version of the brow soap. I just don't think the brow soap is a technique for me. Again, thick, curly brow hair. I never really got into like the laminated brow look. I'm trying to grow my brows out again, if you can see up here, because I've been plucking them for years, and I think I just need to really let them get bushy and then get them threaded again. So I've been trying to do that, but really the soap just did not do anything for my brows. I did not like how it looked with or without the rest of my full face of makeup, so this is definitely not for me. All right, and another product this one was just okay. I have another product that I like better though. This is the AOA Studio Glitter Tacky Base. So this is basically their glitter glue, their eye primer. This, I mean, like I said, it just worked okay. It's a little too liquidy for me. I like the NYX glitter glue where it has like a little bit more hold to it. It's more of a, not a putty. It's more of a not as liquidy consistency. Whenever I try to use the AOA version of it, I would get too much product out because it literally was so liquidy. It would just come right out of the bottle. It was hard to control. And because it was so liquidy, it was hard to get on and not affect the rest of my makeup. I actually noticed that when I put this on, it would sometimes take off like the matte shadow I already had on before I could put on my shimmer shadow, and then it wouldn't look that great. So it was a learning curve in learning how to use this, but then even when I put it on the best way, it wasn't absolutely fantastic. So yes, it's usable, but I wouldn't prefer it. The NYX glitter glue, it's $6 for a bottle. Honestly, that is fantastic and it lasts a good long time. So I would say go for the NYX and avoid this one. Last but not least, from AOA Studio, I was sent in PR, I believe, one of their brush sets. I did purchase before their rose gold travel brush set, and that was mainly face brushes and a couple of eye brushes. This black brush set is all eye brushes, and I was testing this out quite a bit, and I have to say, I was very impressed. I just filmed my favorite everyday makeup brushes, face brushes, and eye brushes, and I do have quite a few Shop Missy brushes in there. I don't know if my scheduling, I'm pre-filming a little bit, I don't know if that video is already up or if it's coming out soon. If it's up already, I'll throw it up in the cards. If it's coming out soon, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell icon so you're actually notified whenever that video does go live. But I'm really impressed by the quality of Shop Missy brushes. So I really liked all the brushes included in this set, with the one exception of like the brow pencil. This, unfortunately, is just too thick for me to use, but I got used to the ABH brow double spoolie kind of product, and it's just a really, really small version of it. So this, I think you can probably use it better for like actual liner and less for like your brows. But the rest of the brushes, they're fluffy, they work really, really well, and I'm a huge fan. And I feel like out of my everyday brushes, I think about 40% of my favorite brushes are now from Shop Missy. They're just really great quality and they're really, really affordable. All right, next we have a mini palette from Natasha Denona. This is the mini Xenon palette, and this is the smoky black palette of my dreams. I bought this because these mini palettes are $25. Natasha Denona sells an individual black eyeshadow for $29. And it's just one black shadow. I really wanted to try a black shadow though from Natasha, because despite all the Natasha palettes that I own, none of them have a black in it. And I really wanted to try the black because back in the day, she was really well known for her black eyeshadow and just how black it really was. So I saw this mini come out and it had the black shade and I was like, you know what? I need to get it. It's a really good black. I really like this palette, despite the fact that I technically already owned this palette. Because it's basically the same as the ColourPop Blow and Smoke palette. You see? I saw swatches of these side by side on Instagram and I was like, oh, no way they're that close. They're really close. So if you don't want to spend the money on the Natasha, you can pick up the ColourPop because they're basically the same shades, the same tones. But if you want to try Natasha Denona black shadow or a Natasha smoky eye and you don't want to buy the black shadow for $29, this is here, and it's only $25, which is why I picked it up. But I love the Natasha mini palettes. I think for Natasha level quality formula, they're fantastic. All right, and to finish up this review roundup, I have a couple of e.l.f. putty products. First, let's talk about the Acne Fighting Putty Primer. I am a huge fan of the original e.l.f. Putty Primer. I compared it against the Tatcha, and I liked the e.l.f. 10 times more. If you missed that video, I'll throw it up in the cards. So when they said they were coming out with an Acne Fighting one, which is basically just the same putty primer, but it has some salicylic acid in it, I was really interested in trying it out, especially since like the last few weeks, maybe a couple of months, I've been dealing with like some maskne kind of around my mouth. So it's just like basically from here down, I've been having some acne. And I thought, you know, when washing our masks, I've been trying to not like irritate or touch that area, but I still had some breakouts. I did notice they did go down, and it did help putting this on as my primer before my makeup in the morning, or if I was going out, if I'm going out and about and I am going to be wearing my mask, I just don't wear face makeup, I just do eye makeup, and then I just put the primer around my mouth, and it helped a ton. So I will say it does help. It's just basically the putty primer with salicylic acid, so it does do a little bit for the acne that I had. It's not 100% in full treatment. I still have a full skincare routine, but I thought this was a really great idea, and I really like the primer. Last but not least, I have two of the Putty Blushes that e.l.f. came out with, and I have to say, I really like these. I got these two shades right here. I know they have names, but they don't put them on the packaging, which is annoying as heck. But I got like this kind of deep berry shade, and then I got this nice light, almost kind of salmon-y shade, and they're beautiful. They blend out like a dream. Now, I will say the putty texture, it's not really a putty per se. It's more of a cream. It's basically a cream blush. It's not as easy to manipulate, so to say, as like the putty primer. So if you're thinking they're going to be exactly the same as the putty primers, they're not. It's basically just like a cream blush. It's kind of like those Fenty blushes. It's the same kind of texture wise that I can think of is the Fenty cream blushes. But these are beautiful. Only a little bit goes a far away, and don't worry about it being too pigmented for you, because I've noticed that these blend out really nicely. So if you put just a little bit of this really deep blush on and then blend it out, it looks beautiful. Or you could build it up and do like a whole kind of monochromatic look. Oh. I just love that we're now getting really good, affordable versions of like cream products. And I think that's really great because there's something about like a good cream blush that just like hits, right? I love wearing these when I'm not wearing any other face makeup, just to do like a little bit of just like color on my cheeks, or they look really nice with a full face of makeup. So I'm really glad I got these. I really want to see what other shades that they have because I want to pick those up too. Ooh, I feel like I've been talking forever. So that is my review roundup of all of these products. Let me know down below what you thought of these products or if you've tried any of them. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.